Go
All right, we should be live again now. We should.
You live?
Not yet.
Just click refresh. Doesn't seem to be showing on the channel, but it's definitely streaming on my end. Pretty weird. Oh, I got it. Yeah, here we go. It is live again. So we are live.
Yeah.
Right. Now I'll go back to Mark Collette.
Yeah, go back on
Mark Collette.
Mark.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Mark Collette is organising a speech. We think it's in Manchester. We're just waiting to find out. He's put out emails to 90 people to sit down and listen to him talk. He's charging £90 a ticket to listen to him talk.
Wow.
You know, we're not talking about £20 a ticket. We're talking about 90. He sold it out.
Well,
there's people going. We're waiting to find out where exactly it is.
yeah, if you can do that, I'll let people know where it is as well. And that'll be that.
Yeah, but you won't be allowed in because you haven't got a ticket.
It's one of them. It might become not a great idea to go there if enough people know beforehand. It's one of them things, mate. It's not welcome in Manchester, that shit. It's just not.
Yeah, you know, like he knows, and surely he knows, with the Africa Caribbean,
yeah,
listening to this, and we're nothing against Africa Caribbeans, Jamaicans,
yeah,
don't know who they are, as long as they don't start preaching hate.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn what colour or what creed they are.
Yeah.
Now he's coming out and doing what National Front are doing in the 70s.
Yeah, exactly.
In the 70s, he's bringing back the 1970s crap,
yeah,
where we had violence on the streets, and he's trying to bring it. All right, he's got a big support. If he's got 5,000 supporters,
yeah,
that's what he's got. 5,000 is not enough.
No.
To do this political movement he's going on.
No.
He's opened up a political movement.
Well,
it opened up.
Got that many. It won't transfer to that on a street level. It'll turn into maybe a handful of people. You know, there's not that many people are going to go and stand in Manchester and represent what he's saying. I think many people have missed the nitty-gritty of what he is actually saying.
See, but my argument is, when he goes down, when you got Ralph down at Speaker's Corner,
yeah,
and you've got the other people representing Mark Collett, if Mark Collett is the leader of this political group,
yeah,
why ain't he at Speaker's Corner?
Yeah,
being the front man.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a mineral, sending his minerals in to do his dirty work for him.
Yeah,
because he will not come off his fat ass.
Yeah.
Right, all he wants to do is sit behind a computer, the same as Goddard, the same as the rest.
Yeah.
They will not come on the streets.
Yeah, that's it. This is a problem. See, I've said, I've asked a couple of questions for Mark, and he's not put anything forward. I put a couple of videos out. They've been erased now because these idiots keep taking my channels down. But I only wanted to know a few questions, and he's not got back to me with anything. He seems to have a 40-year plan in place where he admits that nothing in his lifetime will change. And it's basically just a pension plan.
You got Charlie Big Potatoes from Liverpool. Well, he lives in Spain now. He's run off to Spain. All he keeps saying, going to debate, Tommy, when you're going to debate Mark Collett. TR is not going to debate anybody.
No.
Why should he?
I won't give it
airtime. Things to do, and we're about debating.
Yeah, I won't give it airtime. The public itself will take that down. It's just they've not been pointed out the nitty gritty of it, and that's what I'll do. Point out the nitty gritty of it. So, like I say, John Lawrence is supporting it by the looks of it. I want to speak to John Lawrence. Apparently, it's going to happen at some point through the week. I just want to know where he's coming from. I can't see what he's seeing, and I think he's missing the point of what Mark Collett's actually about. So
I hope John Lawrence is listening to this.
Yeah,
But John Lawrence told me on the phone he's pulled James Goddard loads of times saying you're going down the wrong path.
yeah,
That was John Lawrence's. When I phoned him up 3 weeks ago over something, and he said he's had a word with him, spoke to him. But I do like what James done, what John Lawrence done yesterday when he went to court
yeah.
against the Oldham
Brilliant,
case. And they were singing, "Oh, Tommy, Tommy." But did you see James Goddard's comments?
yeah. Saying he had to apologise or something. What was that about? I didn't get that.
Yes. You got to apologise. You do not mention Tommy's name.
Yeah, he's unreal. I don't know who James thinks he is. He's been about 2 minutes. He's made nothing but mistakes and fuck ups, and he's connected and painted the whole movement in shit, scammers and bullshit, and fucking pedo paint, and stuck up for the likes of Eddie. I mean, him and Tracy have come out and done a video glorifying Eddie, giving him a reference. The guy's an out and out wronging. We've proved it beyond a shadow of a doubt. You know, he's putting people in the league of going on a sexual offenders register for pushing the shit that he's, you know, he knows it. It's not like he doesn't know it. He's been told. He's been warned. He's been in custody. He's been told not to do it again, but he won't warn anybody else not to do it. To me, that's painting the movement in shit purposely. When you've been told it, you know, all these things I can prove with messages, everything. I've put videos together and I've still got them all there anyway, harvested. Every single thing I'm saying I can prove beyond a shadow of a doubt with all the messages. As I've said to Tracy, if you're doubting anything I've said or whatever and you want to refute out, put all the messages forward, recordings, whatever you want, put it all forward. I will address it, not an issue. The truth runs and hides from nothing. That's the thing
See,
with people.
James Goddard done another lie to me, which I wanted to debate him on. Him and Tracy said, when I was in the Justice for Our Boys, I try to take it down. Now, they've got my old picture, right, on Facebook.
Yeah.
I haven't used that since 2018. So someone's tried to hack into their system and take Justice. But apparently so, Goddard and Tracy saying that was me who done it. Now, if it was, I haven't got a clue. If I've got to press something, I've got to ask people how to work this, as you know tonight. What
I'm like you, mate.
Now, they've made this accusation that I turned around and tried to hack into Justice for Our Boys page when it was up and hack it down. It come up that someone did do it with my picture beside it.
I'll tell you where that will have come from. Jesus and Eddie are the hackers and little scumbags. That's their MO. I'll tell you that now.
Right. Now, someone's used my profile, and I haven't used that profile since 2018.
This is it. This is what they do. Or they'll replicate something. They'll copy the same picture. They'll do. We've actually got them recorded talking about it. This is how stupid these people are. It's all recorded and discussing how they do it, and they'll literally just copy the picture, do whatever, put a message up or whatever it is, screenshot it, and then they can change it back to whatever they wanted. The dirty tactics of these people, and it's all recorded. Like you were saying before, you've had people in the groups watching. We've had plants in every single thing that's been going on. These people are so stupid, they don't realise that there's not a move they can get away with, because every time they make that move, we're informed that they've made that move. And
Right.
We've always been 2 steps ahead, every step of the way. It's embarrassing to watch.
There's a woman called Kate White Goddard's in with.
Yeah.
A plant. She's a plant. Kate White is a plant. Miss Moneypenny.
Right. I've not seen her. I'm not aware of her.
Oh, well, she doxes everyone, mate.
Talking about
Mrs. Moneypenny.
What can you explain the Lucy thing? What happened with Lucy and Tommy? Remember that Lucy
In what way?
bird? Well, was she a plant? Because I got told she was plant, and she was there to upset and grass people up and stuff.
All I know is that all I can say at that present moment is that she done Tommy a big favour on the Palatama.
Ah, right. Yeah, that's what she did.
That's all I can say. Even though we know she's turned against Tommy again, called him this, called him that. But whatever I can say about her, I don't like the woman. I can't stand a woman. I know she was working for Hate Not Hate.
Well, she was
before
around
she
David
went-
Icke before that. She was around TPV, the People's
That's right.
Voice, whatever it's called.
That's right. She was with Antifa,
Yeah.
right? She was with Hope Not Hate. She was with that other one, the one with the dog. What went to Tommy's house? What they called? Remember her name now? Remember the red bloke with the red hair went to Tommy's house when Tommy was in Finland?
Yeah, I can't think of who it was now.
And-
I really mean that.
You know, yeah, she was involved with them. Now, what was she done well for Tommy when that John Sweeney tried to really go at Tommy, what they had and what they didn't have, and it turned on them. And I can honestly, I hand on my heart, Lucy Brown, but when she done that, I had all the respect for her for helping Tommy out on Paladrama.
Yeah, it woke the public up, that, didn't it?
So was you there security
Yeah.
then? Was you guys there? Because Rick did security as well, I believe, or some sort of security. Was you guys there when that Ali Dower thing, where you tried to get on stage and everything? Because Lucy let
Yeah,
it, or Lucy.
Yeah, I was at the back. Now, that's where James Goddard got. It's the first time James Goddard got involved. No one knew James Goddard. No one knew him, where he was. All of a sudden, he was at the back of the stage, not inside the perimeter of things. Ali Dower come past me and said, could I? I've got permission to go on stage. I said, let me speak to Tommy. Blah, 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 blah. Tommy said, no way. I told you on the Friday, you cannot come on stage. Because you'd have got lynched. If you come on stage, you'd have got lynched, mate.
Yeah, definitely.
Was behind that. I agree. She was behind that. Because she was talking to Ali Dower. And that's when Tommy had to get rid of Lucy Brown because she was talking to Ali Dower.
Yeah.
At that time. So that's when it all come out of hand that Lucy had to go. There was a big commotion out there, you know, with Ali Dower. Ali's Dower, big man, Mohammed someone, his mouth, and he turned around, exact words were, I'm ready to die. When someone says that, you know, there's trouble.
Yeah.
And that's when the trouble started.
Who brings
When
a
a man
shield to a demo? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's on video, that is, man. Gum shield and said, I'm ready to die. It's like, what the fuck? Are you expecting, you dickhead?
That's why, if you'll see the video, you'll see me there. With him.
That's, you know
jumping on
what?
him.
When you come on
Jumping
tonight,
on.
when you first put your face on camera tonight, that first time I ever seen you on camera, and I was like, I recognise your face. And through the night, it's just I've just come to it. You know what? I reckon you were security down. That's why I asked you, because I thought I recognise you from down there.
Yeah,
Yeah, well,
he's been around Tommy from day one, doesn't he? He's one of
Yeah, but if you look at me, I'm the one with the deer stalker.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I'm telling you that. He's the one. Yeah, that's where I know you from. So I was back then. I was watching every day. I was like a binge watching. I was watching Ali Darla's show. I was watching fucking Jedi's show. I was watching Tony Robinson's. I was watching fucking. Also, I was watching. It's probably about 15, 20 channels. I was watching on a daily basis. Before the Hoax Police, before Danny Jones, before any of that was even invented. I was just watching.
If you go
what's going on down there? Speaker's Corner was a mess.
That's why if you go to YouTube, I think it was November time when me and Dan Tomo went down there to debate Ali Dower. We was on a big one there.
Glenn, I thought I recognised your face too. But now you mention your deer stalker, yes, I have seen you.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we went down and we debated Ali Dower, me and Dan Tomo. And I asked him a few questions because he come out in Cambridge, where Tommy interviewed him, and Tommy come out of court in Cambridge. And he stood there and he turned around Ali Dower, exact words were, I would let my daughter marry a 9-year-old, his daughter, he would let her marry a 45-year-old man. That's what Ali Dower said.
That's just
So
that's just
I
wrong
went
to even
and-
think that way, innit? It's just mental. That is.
That's just,
So I went to debate him. I went to debate him over Speaker's Court about it, and he denied it. And we played him what he said, and he could not even think about it. He was lying. We had some Muslim fella who come up and turned around and said, you're lying, Ali Dower. Mohammed, who married Aisha, was not 9 years old. She was older. And I turned around and said, you didn't even know yourself then, do you? I couldn't believe it. You had one bloke saying she was 9, the other one bloke saying she was 12. And I'm thinking, what?
It's disgusting either way, isn't it?
Of course it is.
So what can you see? So Glenn, what's your future? What in your ideal world? What would you like to see Britain in the next 5 years? 5 years from now, concerning the Islamic problem that we seem to have in this country, undeniably. What would you like to see?
Yeah, what I want to see is we all come together. Everyone thinking I'm mad what I'm saying. No, what I'm saying is that, do you like Muslims? All Muslims not the same. No, they're not. You've got good Muslims, you've got bad Muslims. But my prerogative is, when you see a terrorist attack, it's happened in their mosques. It's happening. The in-man knows what's happening. Why aren't they coming out and with us on the streets and saying this is wrong?
Yeah, what is the reasoning for that, Glenn? Have they ever give a reason for it?
Yes. The reason is they will not grasp their own, because in their Quran it states they will go to hell if they go against their brothers.
Yeah.
But doesn't it in the Quran, does it say that you'll go to hell if you kill other people, like, as well?
Yes.
Yeah, but if you carry on reading to the next verse, it gets a lot more data.
Yeah, it does. It does. If you look at the Hadith book, which you need to read, right? It's dirty. It is dirty there, you know what I mean? If you turn against your own, you will die.
But I mean, I don't know much about it. Well, I've been told, because I've got Muslim friends I drill weekly. I fucking drill them weekly, man, on certain stuff. In fact, I give up now because the answer they're giving is pretty good. Some answers they're giving is good, some of they haven't. They don't condone. They don't like this sort of grooming shit going on. They wouldn't give me an answer. They wouldn't grasp me, apart from you don't sort of grasp on your friends. And I'm like, yeah, but surely they're not friends. Well, they're not friends, no, but what it is my dad's friend with his dad and my uncle's friend with his uncle. If I do that, it's going to fucking kick off proper, because they'll find out that I'm the grasser. I'll get singulated out and all that sort of shit. Even though they all know it's wrong, they'll all probably pat me on the back saying, well done, sorting your neck out there, but see ya. There's your bags. I'm like, wow, okay, that's what happens.
Yeah, but I have been to a mosque and I have spoke to an imam. You know, I have been there and I've spoke to him. And I've said, would you come on the streets with me now and disown grooming gangs? And I'll tell you what I'll do. I will go on the streets with you and I will disown far-right extremists. You come with me and I'll walk with you.
Yeah.
And he went, no, I wouldn't. So that tells me something.
Yeah.
Another of my concerns is that if push comes to shove and these moderate Muslims were given a choice of siding with us or siding with them, they're going to side with them every time.
Yes.
Yeah, I get that, but I find that hard to believe, because I know at least 6 Muslims, 3 I can go to right now if I don't want it. If I need sugar, coffee, milk, or whatever, they could go and knock on the door and they're happy with that. And I've been speaking to these guys for a couple of years, and they don't seem to come across like terrorists or grooming people. They actually and they pray every day and they go to the mosque and that. And I ask them, does the imam at the mosque, what do they say? What's their preach? And what you see on TV, it's nothing like that around here. I'm like, yeah, but Telford, we're in Telford, mate. We're not. It's as good as Luton. You might as well be in Luton here. You might as well be in Rotherham here. So it's like, you know what I mean? And they're like, they won't admit any of it to me. And that's on a personal level. That's just me and them. No one else in the room. That's just me and them. And like, won't admit shit to me.
Yeah, what you need to be saying to them people is, look, do you read the Quran? They're going to say yes. Well, you're an Islamic then, because until they turn their Quran round like our Christian, I'm an atheist, right? Be sure I'm not a Christian. I'm not nothing. I don't believe in religion. That's personally myself. But at least look at our New Testament. We have changed it.
Yeah, you're right. These Muslims I speak to agree with the Quran that most of the stuff in the Quran's taken out. They call it taken out of context, right? Or read wrongly, as they call it. But it isn't. It's a case of they know themselves. It needs to be modernised and updated a little bit, and check out all these war and anti-Jew things and what's all in there, and whatever else is in there. You
can't do that though. You're not allowed, because it's perfect. Their words, it's already perfect. So how can you improve on perfect? Yes. These things are not possible. The last time it had this, it has already had this, but last time it did that, it just split Islam into different sects, and the only thing that they've got where the only thing that they hate more than each other is us. That's the one thing they've got in common. They hate us more than them.
Yeah, but
And
if
it's
you,
not
if you
them.
go
It's
up to
the,
Glasgow, you'll see Catholics hating Protestants every day. Like that's just it's just that happens. You know what I mean? And Muslim
one thing
hating
that's
Jewish and Jewish hating Muslims are
one
standard.
one thing I would suggest. I mean, you'd be the perfect person to get him on, Glenn. Mohammed Fayez. He's a mate of Tommy's anyway. It'd be good to get him on because he understands in Islam a lot and he's quite open and honest about it. Or
but Mo now has gone. Now you won't. He's come out of the movement, mate.
Yeah,
has it?
He's got.
He called Tracy Black out, right, and that's it. He's had enough now. He's gone.
That's it. You won't see. I've had Mo. Mo's been round my house. He's had tea with me. He's had dinner with me. I've had him here.
He's a really good guy. I know
Just
he's
Mo Sarah, yeah. Mo Sarah, his name is.
No, Mo Fayez.
Mo Fayez. I think I've got a different guy then in mind here.
Yeah, no, he's come from. I don't know where he comes from now, but he.
Oh,
you got to think he come out and he spoke against the Muslims. He's a Christian now. He was a Muslim, but he's turned to Christianity. But they're out to kill him, mate.
Well,
Mufassal Islam. I don't know if you're in contact with him. He's a good guy. He's in contact with Britain First, so that's maybe a link to him. He's a good guy. He used to actually be an imam and go around spreading Islam, but he's realised the terrorism and whatever is part of it, and now he's basically spoke out. He's hated in his own community, but he's at one point he was well respected. So you can't have it both ways. It's just he's come out and spoke out against it, and he does support Tommy. So it's something to sort out. You need to hear it from the horse's mouth. Some people will not accept it out of a white person's mouth, as sad as that is.
The person I like to see on your show, Rick, is find a Sikh.
Yeah.
We've asked him actually. We've been in touch with him, haven't we?
Moham Singh, there's another one. Moham Singh, he's always got his hand out. He will, work with people and whatever. He's a good guy. Absolutely good guy. I mean, some of the stuff he does goes unspoke about, really, and unrecognised for. He's a brilliant guy. So
you mentioned Ralph earlier, Glenn. Ralph from over from Speaker's Corner, sorry. He's actually due to go on Wake Up. I think I've seen messages for Wake Up trying to get him on the show, trying to get him on their show. Ralph guy. I don't know where is he sitting in the place? What is he? I don't even know. Is he left, right? I don't even know what he is really. To be honest.
Far right.
Oh, he's far right.
He's far right.
Oh, okay.
Yes, he's joined up with Mark Collett.
Oh, I know. I've seen them together on a chat show on a live, but I don't know if they're a bit of friends or not.
No, he's the one who opened up the ethno nationalists at Speaker's Corner. He was the one at Speaker's Corner done the Zihar. Ralph.
Yeah, he seems to be popular at the moment. People want to get into him.
Yeah, well, I'd like to interview Ralph, and Ralph knows me.
Have you heard of a guy called Luke Reed? I think his name is. Luke Reed, yeah, he's only got a couple hundred subs on YouTube, but he's showing some really good stats and data. I'll send a link to you about that. And it's a pretty. I think I sent it to Rick not so long back, but it's a really good stats and data about the Muslim and the Islamic problem we got in the UK that's seems to be getting ignored. The stats and data stack up. Like.
There's a bloke called Paz9, another one who's new, just come on.
Paz9. I look Paz number 9 or Paz.
Brilliant. 9. Yeah. Paz.
I'd encourage everyone to check out Easy Meat as well by Peter McLaughlin. There's a free PDF. I'll try and find it and attach it to the link.
Yes. See what I was saying about the Sikhs. If you've got a Sikh on, our young girls have been groomed now for the last 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
Them Sikh girls have been groomed for the last 100 years.
Yeah.
The Muslims have been grooming the Sikh girls for centuries of years.
Yeah, before they come to this country, a long time ago.
That's right.
As far back as 1988 was the first, and it was the Sikhs then that pointed it out. These are the people that Mark Collett wants to get rid of. The people that pointed it out and dealt with it when the police wouldn't.
I think they go into schools and that, don't they, and give talks and beware and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah. Honestly, they do some brilliant stuff. We'll try and reach hold of him, and we'll try and get them on it. You know.
Rick, if you can speak to the Sikh awareness,
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah,
we're
they're
in
brilliant,
contact
mate.
there at the moment. We're just waiting for basically a time slot because when I contacted them 3 days ago, they're out of the country. So, but when he gets back, he's going to get in contact. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting him on because I've got so many questions because I think he's going to enlighten us a lot more to what's been going on for years and years and years under our noses.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I've got so much respect for Sikhs.
Yeah.
Like we know, but people go back to history in our Second World War.
Yeah.
How many Sikhs died fighting against the Nazis?
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. Exactly.
Yeah, and Muslims did though, and Muslims did as well. Muslims
Yeah.
actually come with us. They were
Yeah,
in
they
our
did.
army and did it. You know, I think we all agree in here. We know
did.
it's nowhere near. You know, I'm probably going to take a stab in the dark on my percentages. Probably looking at 1% of Muslims what are doing this shit. You know what I mean? Maybe 2% of actual Muslims what are doing it. You know what I mean? 86 grooming gang people in the scale of 1 million Muslims.
Who's good at maths? What's 1% of 1.6 billion?
Billion.
1.6 million. Sorry, million. Sorry.
That's in the world, isn't it? Million.
Yeah.
I think. Hang on. 10%, 160. So 1% is one for 16,000.
Right. Right. Do you know what the percentage rate of our grooming gangs is around England?
No, I only go by what media tell us. I haven't got that. I haven't looked at the proper national statistics, so I can't tell you that now.
It's 82%. 82% of grooming our girls.
Well, the stats I read on that, Glenn, right? Because I read this a lot, especially off Goddard and what have you. The stats I read was, out of the, say you got 100 men found guilty of grooming, out of them 100, you'll find 86% are Muslim, as in Pakistani Muslim. That's the stat I know of.
Yes.
It's not 86% of all Muslims. It's like 86% of the grooming gang itself. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's a stat we can't deny. That's a stat we can't ignore either.
But when you look at 1% in Telford are Muslim.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes. Now, 82% of grooming gangs are happening in Telford. Of 1% of Muslims.
Yeah, but I think it's probably, let's say I'm taking a stab in the dark. I know there's at least 80 to 90 men already been arrested in Telford for it, but I know there's probably triple that what are getting away with it either still or have been, right? So let's say 300. So then you look at the 86% of 300 is 200 and some odd out of that 300, 200 and something was fucking Muslim.
Yes.
So it's a stat that you can't ignore. It's a stat you can't ignore at all, and you've got to deal with it.
But what you've got to think of that as well, my friend, is find out who they're related to. Their brothers, their cousins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at them.
Yeah.
It is a paedophilia thing, what is going on through families.
Not all the families know about it, though. Well, I'd say not all the families know. They tell me they didn't know about it. They're actually shocked sometimes, as we do, when we find out Mohammed so-and-so, who's been a taxi driver for a couple of years, and he's got
One
kids
thing
and
that
he's got a
Muslims
wife and
are
seems
proud
like
of.
he was actually doing it, you know. You think,
One thing Muslims are proud of is they're proud of the fact that Allah's the greatest deceiver.
Yes.
Yeah. I think it's the butchering as well, what people don't like to discuss. This wasn't just like a prostitute thing. It wasn't about that. That was obviously where the money came from and stuff, to feed their drug habits and what have you. But it wasn't about that. It was more about the humiliation and the butchering and the brutality they used against the girls in the name of Allah or whatever the fuck they called it. That's what people don't want to talk about. That's the bit what makes me sickening. You know what I mean? It makes me sickening to think about a young girl getting raped anyway, but to think that they got butchered and iron bars on their arses and all this sort of shit that people don't want to talk about. And there's a lot more that I'm not even going to discuss. It's like, wow. Especially if you read that book, what Rick's on about, you'll hear some proper stuff in there thinking, shit, man, that actually happened, you know?
Have you read the Tommy Robertson Muhammad book?
No.
Right. You need to go on Amazon, right? Cheap. If I do see it, I could give you a copy. It's a version of the Hadith book where Tommy puts it all in English.
That's his interpretation of it, though, isn't it?
It's interpretation.
Tommy's interpretation of it, yeah.
in prison while he was in there, he interpreted it. But you read through it, it's a very hard book. It's one step forward, two steps back.
Yeah.
It's a very hard book to sit back and think what is in there.
Yeah. No, I've read. I mean, I knew Lucy Lowe's mum, the one who died in the fire. I went to school with one of my mates. We used to go hang about together in the ice rink and stuff. So it was really weird when I heard. Well, that's when I first started finding out all about it. Is when that happened. When he torched the house and took the mum away. I was like, wow. And that's when we found out about it all. We didn't really know. We was young people growing up. We didn't really know about it, to be honest. It was just mum and dad used to say to us, keep away from me. He's a nonce. He's a wrong. And, and that was it. That's all we got taught about paedophilia and all this sort of shit and grooming. We didn't really get taught anything about it. Well, I think anyone knew about it, really.
Yeah, but when you turn man, you're going to get hit with all the time. Do you realise, this is what the Muslims say, do you realise you've got a big problem with our kids? I agree. I shake their hand and say they are dirty, stinking nonces. Yeah. Now, let's go back to Gary Glitter. Let's go back to Rolf Harris. Let's go back to every individual person is a nonce. Mm-hmm. That nonce is raping one child, which is wrong. Sick, he needs fucking hanging. But we're 50 to 60 grooming one girl. You don't see 50 to 60 white people.
No,
I should use or
you get paedophile rings as if it's white, they call it paedophile rings for some reason. If it's Muslim or Asian or black or whatever, they'll call it grooming. Yeah, but
whenever you if you can show me a statistic, a paedophile ring, what has been going on, then a Muslim paedophile ring, what's going on?
No, you can't. And let's be honest, we all know that the white, because of the social, because there's more whites in this country, the bottom line.
That's right.
What's it called? I forgot the name now. Anyway, you know the way. Demographics, that's the word I was trying to find. Yeah. Because of that, in this country, naturally, there's going to be more whites that commit paedophile and nonce activity than there is Muslims. Yes. We all know that. That's not something we're arguing about. It's purely the gangs itself that the percentages are. You know what I mean? It's like.
But again, read the book of the Quran. They believe in Sharia law. On the Hadith book, women are there as slaves.
Yeah, we know
women
that from Saudi Arabia and that. Yeah, if you just go and Google and look at it, yeah, you'll see all that sort of bad.
So
see people getting stoned and burned and all sorts.
That's right. So really, what you need to be doing, they need to be going back, looking at their book and think this is wrong. Yeah. Like when you look at now, people don't realise how many Sharia law courts there are in England.
Yeah. But we did the same, though. If you look back in history, the white man did the same with the women because they weren't allowed to vote. You know what I mean? All that sort of stuff. When you look back, you think, fuck me, we were pretty harsh on women. I mean, not as harsh as obviously they've been, but we did some pretty bad things to women and all back then. So and what was that? I mean, also we were racist. You know what I mean? We took the racists into it as well. Fucking our slaves and that sort of shit. We were pretty terrible back then, like.
Yes. You talk about in the 30s when your mum weren't allowed to go to work. She weren't allowed to do this. All she would do is.
Right.
You're right. Yeah, I agree with you. But what happened in the 70s? It changed. Equal rights.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But they haven't come up. Their ideology
keeps them behind.
They've not come up with that.
That's right. Their own religion, their own beliefs keeps them developing and that's why the country will always stay third world because it stops them evolving. It stops them coming into looking at science and using technology or whatever, making their lives better. I mean, I've always said it. Why are you walking with that bucket? Why don't you just start moving your house close to the river? Why are you doing that? Walking 10 miles? What's going on here? It's because they haven't got the common sense IQ level to know that. That's why. You know what I mean? If you go over there and say, move your house, dickhead, close to the river, stop walking. Let's move it.
Yes.
No, they'll go, shit, we didn't think of that. And you think, what do you mean you didn't think of that? Because we don't realise of our sort of society, how lucky we are, their education, and all that sort of stuff. And parents being educated as well, and their parents being educated and so on. So we're naturally born with a higher IQ level, naturally born with a bit more common sense. So
until we stop this mosque building, all right, everyone's got to have a mosque. I do agree, but do you need? I can't remember what it is now in Luton. 40 odd mosques in Luton. Do you need 40 mosques in Luton? Do you need 20 mosques in Peterborough? What are they preaching now? That is my concern.
Went a bit muffled then.
Everyone there?
Don't know why.
Rick,
Yeah,
I think it's
I've got a
Sue's mic.
Facebook friend who's a Sikh, who's also a Tommy Robinson fan.
yeah,
He lives in Leicester.
right, okay.
I could have a word with you tomorrow, so we
Yeah.
can contact him and see if he'd like to speak.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great.
See, I'm not a massive fan of Tommy's. I really ain't. I used to be,
Yeah.
but I'm not a big fan anymore. I'm sort of like, I respect what he did, and I'll definitely say shake his hand, going, what you did and put your neck out there for what exposing what you exposed is like, I can't fucking thank you enough. But what you hang around with, man, you hang around with some white fucking weirdos and nutters and like people that are just after your money and shit, man. They're just trying to infiltrate you and scam you and all over the place. I mean, he put that Melanie Shaw thing up not so long back, and I kicked right off at him. I was like, what are you doing?
The thing is,
Get
Danny, I
Colin.
think you realise sometimes people just shove things into Tommy's hand and take a picture. It's not unless you're there, mate, you're not really seeing it for what it is. When you're there on the front line, you see these things for yourself, not what you heard on a...
It was Kev, his mate. His mate did it. His mate who's got in UK column. That's what did it to Kev, because I got in touch with Kev and said, where'd you get that from? When UK column had pushed it onto me, I think it's good support. I've looked into it, blah, blah. So I showed him what he should be looking into. And thank fuck, Tommy never, ever, ever did it again. And I was like, thank God for that, because it's, you know, you've got to look at both sides of the story and then make a judgment. You can't just listen to fucking one newspaper or something.
The reason Tommy got involved with Melanie Shaw, do you want to know the reason why he got involved with Melanie Shaw for?
Well, he thought she was a targeted whistleblower. That's what he thought.
No. Tommy done 9 weeks, didn't he?
Yeah.
Tommy done 9 weeks in jail, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah.
She's done 2, nearly 3 years. Tommy felt sorry for her that he'd done 9 weeks in solitary confinement. And he's turned around and said, all I've done is 9 weeks. That woman's done 3 years for telling the truth what he was doing. So he had to stand by her. And that's the reason why he's come out with and used the lines of Melanie Shaw when he was outside the Old Bailey. Because he said, let's not forget about my case. Let's forget about her case where she spoke out.
She hasn't known.
And look
Glenn.
where she is.
She hasn't known Glenn. That's the point. That's what I'm getting at. She hasn't spoke out. She has not named anyone. She's never named a man, never named a staff member, never named jack shit. Honestly, we all think she has because that's what we're led to believe. But she actually hasn't. You know what I mean? And she's called out people around her to be scammers as well. She's actually called them out herself. You know what I mean? The reason she got put in solitary confinement is think of it this way. If you've got your son in prison, or sorry, your daughter in prison, for a petty crime really, right? But the next door neighbour to the prison cell, although actually the woman actually in your prison cell, keeps fucking setting fire to it all the time through protests and God knows what. You've got 2 choices, a prison officer or prison warden. Either protect the whole fucking prison and put her in solitary confinement because she's obviously losing her head and what have you, or put everyone else in solitary confinement and let her carry on. What do? You've got to protect the prison. But no one's putting it across that way. Everyone's putting it across as, oh, she's doing this and she's doing that because she's trying to blow the whistle. If she actually gave a name and tried to blow a whistle, fair play. But she hasn't. And that's why the media's not touched her. That's why no one's touched her, because she's got nothing to actually say. Which sadly, that ridicules her and every other people actually got truth.
Hasn't she brought up Prince Andrew?
Well, fuck, we can all say Prince Andrew. That's pretty obvious.
I know, yeah, I'm just saying. No, basically, you know what I mean? But has she brought up names of the person where they sexually assaulted her?
No, do you know
in her childhood?
Well, in the childhood, yes, she breast up on her uncle. That's why she entered the care home, mate. That's why she entered the care home, because of the bad things. Listen, she's a victim, man. She's definitely a victim of her uncle and her dad and God knows what. But in the care home, she was probably a victim in the care home, maybe from the staff member or something as well. Guaranteed. You know what I mean? I'm not saying she was. I'm not saying she wasn't. But what I'm saying is she's not been locked up through having some secret information on politicians, which is what everyone thinks. She's not. She's locked up for her own safety. Simple as that at the moment. She's locked up because she was actually a sexual offender herself. She actually child abused. You know, she actually tried to entice girls, younger girls, to show naked pictures, all that sort of shit going on. So she got injunction, a lifetime injunction against these girls. Well, she'll say the girls got a lifetime injunction against Melanie. And that's why she's in prison at the moment. And that's why she's getting help. So it annoys me when people go and support Melanie. Like, I don't mind you supporting her, but realise why you're supporting her. And most of the people don't even realise why. They think it's because she's a whistleblower, and she's not. She really isn't. Yes, she has some bad things. She's a victim. She needs help. That's what she needs.
So
She
I've
needs all
got
the support we can give her, but the supporting outside, demonstrating outside the orchid or whatever it is she's in, whatever fucking madhouse she's in recently, he's not
Yeah,
going to do any
but
good.
she's getting support from the likes of Andy Devine and fucking these idiots. It's obvious why it goes tits up and they don't
Of
get
course
the
it
help.
does, yeah. She needs
She
real support from
get
proper,
branded as fucking...
proper services, man. You know, the
Are
proper
you
people.
talking about? Are you talking about Carol Woods? You mean at the Orchards?
Yeah, that's another one. She needs to be left alone and get the proper treatment she needs.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
That's it. Simple as that. She's been pushed and pushed and pushed. She's told her own bullshit that much now. She believes it herself, and because of the people around her are supporting her and telling her, "Yeah, you're right, Carol. You're right, Carol."
Well, who's the person who's drove to do it? The person who should have turned up to debate tonight, Pirate Girl. You know.
Oh yeah, she's pushed a story. She pushed Eric's story. Pirate Girl did.
This is it. She's pushed them all. How many have ended up in a mental institute because of this?
Yeah.
This bunch of scammers and wrong-uns. It's unbelievable. And
Well,
it's
it's been happening for years though.
See, I'm doing the Beach Home Survivors, the Beach Home Warriors, the Beach Home Survivors.
Yeah.
I'm doing it on the 16th of May, Trafalgar Square, at 12 o'clock meet, and we're going to have a demonstration down the street. But the people I've got there is a bloke called Mark Tarago, right, of Alan Merritt, Sue Payne.
Yeah.
These are the people. We've got 15. We've got an army fella coming on stage to say that how on these homes, these care homes, where he left to join the army to get it out of his system, and we're doing a massive demo, and it's against the establishment.
Yeah.
We've got whistleblowers on there are ready to come out. You know, if you look at Mark, have you listened to Mark Taraga?
Yeah, I have done.
You have listened to him?
Yeah, only a couple of times. I haven't sat for hours and hours listening to him. I know he's about though.
Yeah, but he's on stage. He's talking. We're listening to on that day, on the 16th of May.
They've got more credibility than Melanie Shaw, as I can tell you that.
Yes. You know, the person I'm a little bit concerned with at the moment, you know, I'm going to say his name. I know it's live. I'm concerned on John Wedger at the moment.
I wouldn't go anywhere near him, to be honest with you. That's just my opinion to you.
No, you're right.
No, you're with Ali.
Right.
Same as his girlfriend or Mrs.
I do agree
now, but they got engaged. Same as Anna Breeze.
In the opposite direction to Wedger.
Yeah, Anna Breeze as well. Keep away from that Breeze media bullshit.
Yeah.
They all got buckets and money, just chinga. It's all about it. Basically, John Wedger to me is the new Bill Maloney. And if you know about Bill Maloney, then you'll don't keep away from.
Yes.
You'll keep away from Wedger.
I know.
That's my personal opinion on Wedger. He's not a whistleblower. I've got video evidence of him saying it, actually on video, saying that he will not grass up his friends in the Met Police. He made a gentleman's agreement when he left, so he wouldn't whistleblow on these certain people. Now, to whistle involved in some way. Now, John was studying all the paedophile bollocks and the canals and God knows what, which is probably true, to be honest, right? And yet again, it's truth mixed in with bullshit. But also, what worried me was he called these Nazi people or police officers friends. Now, to me, you don't call people friends if they're doing that sort of shit. Right? So either one, they're not doing that sort of shit, and he's not going to give them names because he ain't got none. Same as sort of Melanie Shaw sort of thing. Or two, he's actually in with it. He's in with them. But he's protecting them because they're friends.
Yeah.
There's only two ways you can go with that. You're like, well, it doesn't make any sense. And I've got video footage saying that. I've also got video footage saying he wants amnesty for paedophiles. John Wedger wants amnesty for paedophiles. You heard that right? What? You know what I mean? It doesn't make any sense either. So it's all these things you've got to look at what John Wedger's trying to do. And every time he comes on, it's all about money for you. Support this, support that. You see it every time.
Definitely.
So I would just keep, my personal opinion is keep the fuck away from John Wedger. He's another guy out for clicks and bait and donations and what have you, PayPal and what have you, all that sort of shit. Same sort of thing that Bill Maloney did. And it's all coming out now that it was all bollocks. You know what I mean?
See what it is with John Wedger? We tried to get him involved on the Tracy's one when we first knew about it.
Yeah.
Right? And he didn't, you know what I mean? I can say at this point now, I'm glad he didn't.
No, he wouldn't go near Tracy. Tracy's way too strong for him. Way too strong.
That's right. And he wasn't interested.
No, he wouldn't touch her because she's way too strong. She'll overpower him. She won't let his money go in his pocket. No chance.
Yeah.
He goes
Yeah.
to the vulnerable ones. He goes to the ones that ain't really come out. He goes to the ones that are a bit still vulnerable, distraught from it and distressed from it all. And of course, when he starts bringing it all back up again in the statement, relive your moments. He's not qualified and professional to do any of that shit for a start. So he's probably making it worse for him.
See, we've got people coming on stage, and I can't say their names yet until the day because I don't want to spoil it. We've got people talking about Edward Heath.
Yeah, but that's not been proven.
What happened?
It's not been proven. It is all hearsay.
It will be proven. It will be proven on the 16th of May.
Well,
that's all I'm going to say. Yeah,
that'd be good to see some actual fucking evidence and proof of some certain things. They just people saying it.
We have got whistleblowers talking about Enoch Powell.
Well, yeah, fucking hell, that's a given.
You know what I mean? That's why I want people there to listen to these whistleblowers who have been in care homes since they were 4-year-old and been physically, mentally abused.
Yeah.
And
they've obviously been to the right services first before they do this, I mean. Or what?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, good.
But they're not worried of going to prison because they're all 70-year-olds now.
Yeah.
They've said they have had enough. Enough. They're bringing down the establishment. They're bringing down the likes of Cyril Smith.
Again,
this is going to
that's been, as far as I know, there's no evidence of any of it yet. So as I say, that'd be good to see because all these people are naming all these people without any actual facts and evidence behind anything. So it'd be good to see.
Yeah, and I've seen that. I've before they got on that stage. Obviously, all I am is being the MC, so I can't get in trouble with it.
Yeah,
and I've told them, make sure you got facts.
Yeah, well, they can bring facts to what they want. If they haven't got facts, they just got to say, look, this is what I can tell you as my story, what happened, and that's it. And people will believe them or not. You know. Yeah,
but they're going to come. Apparently, they're coming with facts and times and dates.
Yeah, that's what people need nowadays because it works on everyone's innocent until proven guilty. If you can't prove they're guilty, then you're still innocent.
That's right.
That's the way it is. That's the way the law works.
So this one on the 16th, I'm hoping it's going to open a can of worms up because we've got MPs are ready to come and listen, and hoping that they find the right line to take it back into government, where Theresa May said it's got to be stopped. We don't want to hear about it. Didn't she?
Mm-hmm.
We want
the only way I know to get something into Parliament where they can't refute it and they can't stop it going to Parliament is the petition. Is it 200 signatures nowadays or 100 signatures?
Yes.
200,000 or something like that. There's a limit. Is it 100,000? So once you go 100,000 signatures, it's got to be talked about in Parliament as it has to be.
Yes.
And that's what I think people should be doing because I don't see none of these groups doing that at all. Anyway, I don't see Blackwell doing it for her campaign. I don't see what's his name, Mark Collett, doing it for his campaign. I don't see no one doing it for that campaign. Even Tommy. It does the opposition now and again. Early on, he did one. I think he did a couple I signed early on. But he hasn't.
He done one for. He done one for Soldier X, didn't he?
Yeah, that's it. Soldier X. That's what he did one for. Yeah. And there's something else. He used it to the full advantage of what it is, and that's the system we've allowed, or voted for, whatever. Come across, we've allowed.
Well, we tried to do one. I tried to do one for Facebook, but it never paid off. That people are getting steamed off Facebook for saying freedom of speech.
Well, the government
you can't use
free.
Name.
You go on the government website; it's free. You can start petitioning the government petition anytime you like. But it's just
right.
You just got to word it properly and know what you're talking about, really.
But the problem there is going on a government website is a load of crap, mate. It's corrupt. The only way you can do it, you do it through a PO box and do it yourself. So you sort a PO box out, and it goes through a PO box. You get your 100,000 signatures.
Yeah.
Right. Then you go down to Downing Street.
Yeah, that's why you don't do it down. Yeah, in manually, actually print it out. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah. Once you go down the government, they're corrupt, mate.
Mm-hmm.
They will not give you 100,000. That's crap, mate. You don't want to hear it.
Yeah, well, that's what we should be doing. That's what groups should be doing, in my eyes, is getting whether it's hand signatures, whether it's email signatures, whatever. They should be going down that road. That's the way to use their own, in my eyes, their own rules and regulations that they put upon us. We use them rules against them. I mean, their rules, it's their game. We're just playing your game on
Yes.
So you say 100,000 signatures and we can have it talked about and discussed, right? Well, we're going to keep doing 100,000 signatures every fucking week, and you're going to discuss it every fucking week until you make a decision.
Yes.
That's what we should
do. That is my next step. That is my next step I'm looking at.
That is, to me, is what we should be doing as a collective group. Whether the groups all agree, it doesn't matter. Anyone can sign a petition. You know what I mean? If all the same groups, if all these different groups that we all don't get on with, and some get on with, and some don't, and some are still bickering. But if they all just went and said, "Look, there's one petition going here where we can change something. Let's all go and sign it."
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure 100,000 will be there within days.
Yes.
What do you think of Black Van Man, Glenn?
Still don't know a lot about him.
No. He seems
Still,
like,
I can't.
to be honest, he's given unbiased thing with it. You know, he's been to the Tommy crowd, he's had a good welcome, he's been to the Antifa crowd and been treated with racism and all sorts. He's a really good guy. It'd be good
But
to get...
another one there is a YouTuber who's getting paid on his funds.
No, he's not doing all that. He actually stands out from the crowd. He don't collect any money for it or anything.
No,
He has got
no.
a PayPal account, but he hasn't monetized his YouTube account. So
No,
a bit of both.
nothing like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Well, I'll take that back. I honestly thought he's getting all these numbers up.
No, I've got massive respect for him. He's come out of nowhere sort of thing, but he's doing the right thing and he's keeping it pure and right. He's doing a brilliant job. Give him...
He is helping us out down the speakers call, and I'll give his due because he's fronting it.
Yeah.
I'll give his due.
Yeah.
He's fronting it, what he's doing down there.
Yeah.
He's only been in there. The problem there is, for me to say he's okay, he's got to be in the movement a little bit longer than what he is.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah. I try to judge people off their actions. It's easy for people to say things, but judge them on their actions. I think
I've been around for too many years.
Yeah.
For people to jump on like the Goddards.
Yeah.
And you've got to be very careful.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? The people we know around Tommy have been around him since 2009, and we trust them.
Well, a lot of people spotted it from day one and called it from day one, but it's like anything. These things have to roll out the way they have to roll out. It is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, some people take a lot longer to see it, basically.
But
I mean, look at that Paris.
I mean,
What's the name? Paris girl, Paris Barrington. She'd come out of that King Custody crew. She's seen it. You know, it took a year or so, and now she's calling it right out. You know what I mean? Calling it out like left, right, and centre.
Well, Victoria on our team, she was originally on, around that side of things and whatever. And
yeah, but I don't think she believed it, did she? She was there just for entertainment because she was a bit more gobsmacked at what was being said more than actually believing it.
Yeah, but I mean that's how she's found us because we put forward the facts for 2 years, and then obviously it's been one of them things. Progression from there to here.
She probably found me because I just went into a chat room and just kept trolling the fuckers because they kept deleting me. I just thought, fuck you, go back in again, keep going back in again.
Yeah.
And she thought, oh yeah, here we are.
This is it. I mean, I've not known Danny that long or whatever. It's been one of them things. These scammers, these people that have been painting the writing shite, these have brought collectively all these people together. None of these people knew each other some time ago.
I think it was our first conversation, Mick, is when, like you said, I like what you do. You call out the scammers and that. And I went, well, to be honest, the only thing I know you've done so far is fucking call out the Daddy Dragon. So happy days, we're on the same roads. That's about it.
Yeah.
See what it is, if you look at mine now, I'm getting the left smash me that. Now, the new one now is, I cannot believe it.
Yeah.
I am a drug dealer. And the next one is, I am an armed robber.
Whatever next.
And I'm telling people, just Google my name.
Yeah.
I've never been involved in drugs in the whole of my life.
Yeah.
And where the armed robber come from, I was a boxing coach.
Yeah.
2 of my young lads were 13 years old when I trained them. Right? What they done, they killed someone in a fight. I'm a murderer.
You can't be responsible for that, can you?
I went to court and spoke for their highly stuff when they were 13 years old.
You give them like a character reference sort of thing. It was unexpected of them.
But now they're calling me.
Yeah.
They're calling me a murderer, an armed robber. I've done bank jobs because I've known people in the boxing world, right, who have done this, gone off the rails. But that's not personally me. And the left are coming out now saying is that I've been selling drugs all my life. And I've been arrested, I've been to prison. Never, ever have I ever been to prison for drug-related
Well, that's
stuff.
like the stage two.
And it's all about-
It's like they start calling your names and what have you, and that don't work. So then they start making false claims now against you.
Then I'm laughing and I'm thinking, yes, I have been to prison for violence, you know, for stupid stuff at football, you know, in the 80s when I've learnt my lesson. You know what I mean?
Done your time, didn't
You know, you go around.
You done your time, didn't you? Went in, did
What's
your
that?
time, come out.
That's right. That's right. I come out and I thought, now I look at myself now and I'm thinking, I'm 60 years old and I'm thinking, was I really like that? Why was I like that? And the same, we go back to Tommy. Tommy was a 21-year-old child when he started this movement, or 20-year-old. He's learned by his mistakes. Everybody is still saying, oh, Tommy done this at football, Tommy done that at football. But look at him now. You could turn the clock back. He's got a lot better. Everyone
he's a lot more
changed.
calmer now, yeah. He's had some good training. He's learned a lot from his mistakes, definitely.
You know, no, if you listen to Tommy talk now, he doesn't want to go out on the streets anymore. He's not going to go and do demos anymore. Because he said that people walking down the street with lagers in their hands, making that rah, 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 we're trying to get the middle class to work with us. And all they're seeing is violent people, blah, 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 going with drink in their hands. But at that time, people were angry. We used that as an excuse, I think. People were angry on the streets. But it got to the fact that we got the far right extremists, the National Front, were coming to Tommy's demonstrations. But because we wasn't a paid movement, we wasn't on data, we could not stop anybody coming to a demonstration.
That movement, there's no way you could have security in any way, like sort of vet every single person joining the movement. It was happening overnight. You know what I mean? You have thousands join overnight. It's just never going to happen.
That's right. Now, did you see the one where a bloke done a Nazi salute in front of Tommy? Tommy jumped off the stage. Bless his heart. I can't say anymore what happened, but that bloke didn't put a Nazi salute up anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Tommy made it clear that he wasn't up for that at all. And the BNP stuff, as soon as he found out that, he was kicked out.
But every time he went on telly, what did they say? Your supporters.
Ex-EDL, ex-EDL, ex-EDL.
Yes. Right. He's not against like the EDL. He's glad he started the EDL. That's where his name come from. But he had to come away from it because it wasn't doing the street movement any good. You know, you had people saying now, why ain't Tommy up that bloke in prison? He done 2 years for Tommy. No, he didn't do years for 2 years for Tommy. Did Tommy ask them to go and smash windows up? Did Tommy go and ask them to fight the police? How can Tommy back them and go to prison and say what a good boy you are?
You can't. Tommy can't be held responsible for what his followers' actions do. Really.
That's right.
You know, but he can't be. I mean, it just can't happen that way.
So if you listen to him now, you know, it's over his daughter. You know, who's been sexually assaulted.
Yeah, be careful what you talk about this though, because there's a court case. So be careful what you're saying here.
No, I know what I know what I say. But right. Tommy's already come out on his YouTube. I won't mention the daughter's name. Apparently, she got groped. Now, if that would have been me or you, would we be arrested? The answer's no. Because it's Tommy Robertson, who all he done was gave him a citizen's arrest. That's all he's given. And he gets arrested, common assault.
I'm going to hazard a guess of he's forgot to take his meds or something along those lines will be coming forward. So
what's that?
I reckon at some point in time, all you'll hear from that side of things is he forgot to take his meds or he should be on meds, but he's not on meds. Something along them lines. It'll be down the using the mental illness card, which is wrong. It's
going down. Yeah, but they're going down them lines. Yeah. All right, and if the bloke has got mental issues, yeah, what was he doing in Centre Parks without any carers?
Yeah.
If he had mental issues.
Yeah.
You know,
and he was allowed to stay. He wasn't even removed.
Yeah. It's even worse. I mean,
what about if the guy has got mental issues, right, and he's got a mental age of like 10, even though he's a big lad, he might have got mental age, and the two lads were with him at the time, they were carers, and obviously weren't fucking doing a very good job. But obviously, what with that scenario?
My argument would be he went into a small pool. He went into a pool where there's little children, not big children. Now, if he's gone in there and he's got mental issues, where was his carers? Now, what the swimming pool people are saying, they're the ones who've come out and said that he's got mental issues. Now, if that swimming pool people know him, why was he allowed in a little swimming pool place then?
Yeah, maybe.
Why were the lifeguards on
Yeah,
it?
I agree. Maybe this is the reason now swimming pool, these regulations have come out. Let's say maybe the mentally ill have to swim in different time. I don't know. I'm just trying to give it a reason why it can't happen again. I mean, how many times has it happened before? Really, that's what we've got to look at. I've never heard of that case before, anything like that. But it happens.
No, but you can understand where Tommy holds him and restrains him from leaving, and Tommy's asked the police officers, have you checked their phones? No. Their phones have still not been checked to this
Disgusting.
Yeah,
day. Their phones, it could have paedophilia on there. Who knows?
Yeah, that was a bit silly, like not doing that.
They could have been going there every day and doing that, and that's the first child that spoke out. It's that simple. Nobody knows how long it's been going on.
I would like you to go on my YouTube tonight because Tommy's done a massive thing over it when he speaks to a police officer. He speaks to a police officer today on the phone, and Tommy wanted to find out what is going on. It's on my YouTube what the policeman has spoke to Tommy, and that policeman is not for real. He has come up with so many excuses, right? And Tommy's not lying. Tommy's got the police officer speaking on the phone, and Tommy's asking him questions. You just go on Glen Saffer's YouTube, because all Tommy's stuff is on there. You go on my YouTube under Glen Saffer. YouTube, Tommy, there's nearly 300 videos. But his latest one was tonight. Sit back and listen to it. Have you listened to it yet, Rick?
Yeah. I've caught about half it before, and then I kept getting
How long is it?
on calls.
How long's the video?
16 minutes. I'll send it you now, and we'll play it.
Play it if you want, yeah.
No, don't send in the 16-minute one. That one's got to come down. It might be already down.
Okay.
Because the police officer has used his daughter's name.
Right, okay.
Now, Tommy didn't use his daughter's name. The policeman did.
Then I'll wait till when you send it me, we'll attach it to the video.
No, my one now, go under the 11-minute one. The 16-minute one is where he does all the paperwork beside it. But the one where it's on now, look on the 11-minute one.
Right.
Where it goes his daughter's name and it goes bleep, the word bleeped it out.
Right.
And Tommy's weren't interested. He said, let it go out my daughter's name. We went, no, that's unfair, mate.
Yeah.
That is on there tonight. And people, I think last time I looked was 800 views. This was like in a matter of about 10 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Tommy's got nearly 7,000 views on it already.
Wow.
And people are writing in saying, this is disgusting. Tommy's only doing it because what he's doing at court on the 2nd of April, he wants the women there. This is not about Tommy. This is nothing to do with Tommy.
No.
This is about highlighting a child.
Yeah.
Forget that Tommy child, any child.
Yeah. That's it, exactly. Could have been anybody's child. That's the thing.
I can play that video now if you want, that 11-minute one.
Yeah, play it.
All right, I'll play it.
Unbelievable.
Investigation.
Yep.
I've been reviewing it today.
I'll mute it so we don't.
We're still reviewing it.
Yeah.
Yep.
We have
Yeah,
now
but
got CCTV footage that we're going through.
Yep.
We've also got some other people that we need to speak to that haven't been available today, that are staff at Centre Parks.
Yep.
We've asked Centre Parks to do some other bits for us, and we're waiting to see whether
Have you found it?
that's achievable or not, which is basically putting out a message to all guests that were there to see if there's anybody
Can you get it
that's seen
louder?
anything. And I'll obviously speak to them if that's the case.
Can I ask you?
Yeah.
Is it you? You are the officer.
Can't no one hear
If
it.
my daughter has told an officer, which she did,
Hey, you can only hear it
that
on
that
YouTube.
man grabbed her by the bum,
No, I can't hear it.
and he's been identified.
I can't hear it. I
Why
wonder if
wasn't
you could
he
get it
arrested?
louder so the people in the things could hear it.
Well,
Oh, right. Oh, no, you're showing
I
it for
don't
people
know. I
live, yeah?
can't speak for the officer concerned, to be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah,
but,
Okay,
yeah.
well, just
Tuesday.
if you're a police officer, you're looking at the case. What could the reason be? Why would he not? If a daughter, I see the police so many times come forward, tell us what's happened. She done everything. She told you what happened. Why wouldn't he have been arrested?
one of the reasons he might not have been arrested was because he needed medical attention as a result of an allegation that you punched him several times.
Oh, right.
Well,
so,
I don't know. I don't know.
So
Mr.
that
Yankee,
well, okay. So once you've given him his medical attention because he didn't go hospital, why then wouldn't he have been arrested?
You're asking me to speculate on somebody else's thought process.
I'm asking you.
He wasn't arrested. I mean, just because if somebody goes to a police officer and says something's happened, the initial thing the police officer will look for is some form of corroboration, i.e. a witness that said, yeah, I saw that and that's what happened.
So what you're saying is there's no point in a child ever going to the police and saying someone assaulted me and done this unless there's a witness.
No, I'm not saying that at all.
Well, what's the point you're making then?
Well, because that then creates an investigation, and then we look for evidence, which is what we're doing now.
Okay, as you're looking for evidence, was he there with any children?
Listen, I'm here to tell you what we're doing so far. The investigation isn't complete. I'm just giving you an update.
Okay,
right?
in your investigation, because I'd like to know as a dad, was he there with any children?
I'm not prepared to speculate or tell you
It's
that.
not speculate. It's not speculation. You've checked.
It's not relevant. It's not relevant.
You don't think that middle-aged men?
No, I don't think it is relevant. Why is it relevant?
What, middle-aged men alone in a children's swimming pool is not relevant?
Well, who said it? You're speculating, Mr. Yankee.
Who's speculating?
Who?
Who?
Middle-aged man on his own.
No, I didn't say he's on his own. I said he was with other men. That's what I said.
So, what relevance is that to an allegation of a sexual assault?
Are you for real?
Are you saying?
Are you
that
for real?
Nobody. I mean, I don't.
Are you for real? You're a police officer. You've got middle-aged men, yeah, in a children's family holiday resort without kids.
It is not exclusively for children. It is a family resort. Yeah.
Yeah, and
But it doesn't. There's not a condition. There's not a condition that you have to be below a minimum age or with a wife and two children.
No, there's not.
Men can pay and go there.
So when you get okay,
That's
so
a condition of entry.
so when men who have gone there alone as men, yeah, without kids or without partners, they've gone there as men, and a young girl's bum has been grabbed. Is it not? Do you not think that any evidence of what they were up to that weekend, whether they were videoing children, taking images of children, do you think they've maybe deleted it by now because you didn't take their phones? Shouldn't that not have been standard protocol of a police investigation? When a young girl has told you that she's been groped by a male who's there alone without kids in a family holiday resort with another group of men.
I'll leave you to speculate. I'm going to stick to the facts.
But you're not sticking to the facts because I've asked you why you didn't arrest him.
I'm sticking to the facts. I've already told you what we're doing.
I've asked you why
you want me to speculate on other things.
I've asked you why you didn't arrest him.
I know you've asked me, and I've told you what my answer is.
What is your answer? Why didn't you arrest him?
I wasn't there at the time.
Oh, so that's your answer. Okay, so why didn't your police officers arrest him? What's your answer?
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know? Well, don't you think you should have found that out by now if you're ringing me up about my daughter's sexual assault? I want to know.
I'm ringing you up to... Well, the fact is he wasn't arrested, was he?
No, so I'm asking you why not? Why not?
He was arrested.
Why not? Well, don't you think you need to go... Don't you think as the investigating officer in this case, you need to go and find out why he was not arrested? Don't you think? Don't you think that should have been your first point of call? Why the hell... Why the hell?
It wasn't the first, but why would it be the first? But I can't change what happened several days ago, Mr. Yankee.
I was taken away.
You got arrested because people come up to the police officer and said that you had hit this man in the face several times. That's why you got arrested.
Okay, so my daughter went up to... Okay, listen. My daughter went up to... My daughter went up...
He needed medical attention as a result of the allegation that you assaulted him.
My daughter
went...
The difference is my daughter went up to your police officer before you arrested me and told you what happened. So why would you not then arrest him? Why not? It seems...
Listen, he didn't get arrested. I'm giving you an update on the investigation.
Okay.
I'm not prepared to go
your update on the investigation.
It's quite clear that you want to ask me lots more questions.
Do you have
Please
CCTV?
do so once my investigation is complete.
Do you have CCTV?
So I will update you tomorrow. Listen to me.
Do you have CCTV?
I will update you tomorrow when we have more information. And I will continue to update you as the investigation progresses.
When are you going? When are you going
to reviewing CCTV footage that we now have in our possession? Yes.
Great.
We are appealing for witnesses to corroborate what says.
When you say you have CCTV, where do you have CCTV from?
Where do you think? From Centre Parks?
Yeah, whereabouts from in Centre Parks?
I'm not going to tell you whereabouts from Centre Parks, Mr. Yaxley Lennon. All I'm going to say to you is I'm going to review it, and if there's anything relevant to what he says, then obviously that will be disclosable in due course.
Okay.
But I'm not going to tell you where CCTV cameras are located.
Why not? My daughter's been sexually
that's not what
assaulted.
we do.
I want to know if it's on camera where he.
I'm not going to tell you that.
Okay.
So, all right.
Okay.
But I will review them. Okay. I will review any relevant footage to determine whether has been subject of a sexual assault or not, and if has been subject of a sexual assault that's shown either on a CCTV camera or by a witness that justifies somebody being arrested.
So you don't think telling your police officer she was sexually assaulted, that's not enough for a man to get arrested?
Mr. Yaxley, what part of what I've just told you didn't you understand? That's what I'm going to do.
No, you said you need a witness. That's what you just said. A separate witness.
I've said to you we are appealing for witnesses.
Okay, can I ask?
That's why you got arrested, because there were witnesses that said, actually, yeah.
Mate. What your officer's done is they were so.
I'm going to finish the conversation now.
Why?
I'm giving you the update. If you want to make a note of who I am.
Who are you?
And if you want to contact me.
Who are you?
My collar number is 157.
Yep.
I'm going to call it night, guys.
I'm not here all the time, but in the daytime you can get me on 01.
Okay, Susie.
Nice.
Night, sweet pea. Night, sweet pea.
Can I ask you, why have you...
I aim to get back to you by tomorrow lunchtime with an update.
When do you aim to actually get a video interview of my daughter?
There's no need to get a video interview of your daughter. The allegation is fairly simple, isn't it? She said
just finished now, mate.
The SSO booklet that at the end of the water rapids, she was touched on the bottom once by an individual.
When you say no, was her word touched?
It's just finished now, mate.
What?
Was her word touched?
I think she said he squeezed the bum.
There's a bit different to touch then, isn't it, officer?
What I want to hear is people's opinions on this.
Bodily contact between...
Oh, bodily contact? No, don't...
Well, my opinions is why they're so concerned about Tommy and not about his daughter.
Mr. I'm not
It
playing
just
it
seems
down.
a bit wrong.
I'm investigating an allegation of sexual touching on an under 13-year-old.
It's all right, this Asian person has had his head kicked in by Tommy, but we couldn't care less of what that Asian person has done to this young person.
And when you say, and excuse me,
how is that right?
The problem there is that Tommy kicked his head in. Did he go to hospital? If Tommy really wanted to laugh at him or give him a beating, myself, I would have strangled him under the water. But Tommy's restrained him. Tommy has restrained him. But if you looked at Tommy's neck, where the bloke grabbed hold of him as well, there's pictures of Tommy's neck, which he's got scratches and God knows what, where he's had a confrontation with him for stopping him leaving.
I think Tommy would have done exactly as any dad would have done. To be honest, I think he got the Asian guy got let off very, very lightly.
Too lightly, yeah, I agree.
Do you honestly think the paedophile is going to get arrested?
No.
That's right.
Because I can guarantee that there is no CCTV in the pool. It's very unlikely.
It didn't happen in the pool. It happened in the changing room, so there's no CCTV in the change room.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
He's going to get away with it because his friends, possibly, and this is only a guess, would have backed him up.
Yeah.
Well, you got the free what do you call them? Lifeguards have made statements against Tommy.
They've made statements against him.
Yes.
He's going to get jumped out of court.
To me, it's the place itself that needs naming and shaming now. What are they about paedophilia? It seems that way. How have they let 3 grown men into a child's pool area anyway?
Do you honestly think?
Even if you Rule.
Do you honestly,
He said,
do you honestly think Tommy's going to get a walkout on that? I believe he's getting prison on it.
I think so, mate. He needs to do everything he can lawfully the right way and get everyone behind him. Definitely.
I reckon.
Well, that not we use it as intimidation, and with Tommy's background, Tommy's not going to stand a chance in court.
That's
No.
right.
He needs the people behind him now. All the parents, all the grandparents, and everyone should be supporting Tommy now, just on this fact alone.
Well, what I've got a car share going on. We have got buses, we've got coaches coming down from the north.
Yeah.
I've done a massive car share on Telegram, right? That people are coming in cars so we can fill all the cars up, yeah? Now, we're asking for people to come down and support him for what it is, you know? Because it's not about Tommy Robertson. This is an injustice against the system.
Yeah, this is it. This is
So
it.
let's take Tommy's name out of it. Let's pull his name out of it.
Yeah.
It's nothing to do with Tommy Robertson. This is to do with a young 8-year-old child.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you think there's a possibility that they could have been set up to do it, to set Tommy up?
I spoke to Tommy about that, and the answer was no. Tommy don't believe it.
Right, okay.
He doesn't believe it. Because he said one of them, if you listen to his other one, what he's done another one as well on it. One of them had a pink thing on his head. So his head don't get wet. Pink.
Right.
Wow.
Well, I just think all this court will do is send Tommy to prison. I think that dirty little bastard will walk free because Tommy wasn't. I don't think Tommy. I'm just guessing. I don't actually know, but was Tommy anywhere near his daughter? Because if his daughter's walked up to him and says, "This man's, groped my arse," then that will tell the court that he wasn't anywhere near his daughter. And they'll play on his daughter.
No, she was with his 12-year-old sister.
Right.
So she was in the pool. You got to imagine, it was in the small pool. You know where the whirlpool is? It's only about 3 foot of water.
Yeah.
It wasn't in the big pool. It was in a small pool.
So she wasn't
where Tommy was.
So she wasn't alone. She was with, the biggest.
She was with her older sister, who's 12 years old.
There's other kids in there as well. There's other kids in there as well.
Yeah, but
there was all kinds of children there. And it wasn't as if it was a whirlpool. It wasn't as if the waves were going.
There's no speculation. Remember this man though is innocent until proven guilty. Let's not forget that at the moment.
Yes.
But
yes.
I hear what you're saying. It sounds very.
I agree.
Sounds very fucking. I don't know. It's going to hard get out of that one.
With the man turning around to the police officer, when Tommy went to get arrested, on the tape it's got the bloke has admitted touching her bum.
Yeah, you said that.
Yeah.
Arrested
him just on that alone. Just that alone should have been arrest straight away.
Or even spoken to, took down the police station.
Well, it's admission of guilt, isn't it? So it's straight away arresting him for questioning, definitely. What about?
So you've got to ask the logic. What's the logical reason then why they haven't done that?
Because they're scared of being racist.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Yeah, but when you look at it, right. I've done one on my summing up when I've done my YouTube on it. People turn up now. What I turned and said, they knew what they were going to charge him with before he got in that police station. They knew he was going to get done for common assault.
Yeah.
Now, a common assault is a push. If he's had confrontation and he's got a bloody nose, I don't class that as common assault.
No.
Personally, myself.
That's GBH.
That is, it could be an ABH charge. Yes, a Section 4, which can go to Crown Court in front of a jury.
Yeah.
That he will go to magistrate's court, knowing the fact that the most he can get is 6 months. Tommy cannot take that to Crown Court. It's impossible. You're not allowed to. Not on a common assault charge. They've hit him with the smallest one so he can get 6 months. Now, if he'd have got done for a bigger charge, a jury would have heard it.
Yeah.
No jury in this world who's got children would have thought, Tommy, I'm going to shake your hand here. You need a medal.
Yeah, yeah, that's it.
But a magistrate is different.
Yeah, yeah. But this is the thing. I mean, people have got to realise this could have been anybody, and anybody is in the rights to hold that person from leaving the scene. It's as simple as that. You know,
That's
what
true.
you're supposed to do, just let him loose and carry on doing it. You've got to hold him
No,
until
you got to report it and hold him there. Yeah, that's a definite. But to be honest, I thought the swimming pool would have done that anyway. I didn't think Tommy would have to do that. I thought they would have done it.
Well, the three people that made complaints against Tommy should have been there making sure he didn't leave. They should have took responsibility for, for the situation from there on. They shouldn't have.
We all know Tommy, right? We all should know Tommy anyway.
Tommy's the victim. Tommy's daughter's the victim. You know, they should have separated that situation.
Well, come me stop there. You didn't realise is that Tommy held him there, phoned the police up himself, and had to wait 3 hours for the police to come.
That's disgusting. Absolutely.
Not 10 minutes. Tommy was the one who contacted the police himself, and so did his wife. Now, the police took them 3 hours to get there.
If you've had to keep hold of someone for 3 hours and they've only ended up with a bloody nose, I think they did well. So,
yeah,
congratulate Tommy on that. He would have ended up a lot worse if it had been my child and I'd been left with him for 3 hours.
If that was me, I would have gone straight on into police car after killing him.
Yeah. I'd have drowned him by the time the police got there on his mates. Give a fuck.
He couldn't drown him because it never happened in the swimming pool. It happened inside the changing room.
Right, yeah. It's one of these things, mate. In my eyes, Tommy's done exactly what every single dad would do, and I think everybody will get behind him, whether they're scummy lefties or not. They're still going to have to see that and think this could be my child, actually.
Tommy has stated when he goes to jail this time, he's going to hold his head up high.
Yeah, I would.
And you've got to think as well, which I have turned around and also said on my other YouTube, what I've done, think of, forget Tommy, that young girl needs a bravery award for speaking out. Right.
Yeah.
Now, one thing, stop, listen. That little girl now, I know personally, she's upset. She's told her dad because she's worried that her dad's going to jail for what she said.
Yeah.
Will she speak out again? Will she speak out again to think happens that her dad's going to go to prison?
This is it.
And how many young girls are not speaking out for the reason why this has happened?
Yeah.
It's highlighted it.
Yeah.
There's young kids out there refusing to talk because they're worried that nothing's going to happen.
Yeah, this is it. This is the bigger problem, and people need to realise this. It's only going to get worse if we don't point these things out and deal with them as they happen.
Yeah, but after seeing it tonight, what young girls are going to come out and say it?
Yeah, this is it. It sends a shockwave, and that ripple carries on, and it does. It goes a long distance, and it does start people speaking out. I mean, let's look at it. Look at all the actual grooming gangs. Look how long it continued, and why did it continue? Because people didn't speak out. It's as simple as that.
Yeah,
it's as simple as that. People need, when they see something, they need to say something. It's as simple as that. If people think grooming's not happening near them, they're just not looking hard enough. It's happening everywhere. 82 towns and cities up and down the UK. It's plagued everywhere. It's a bigger problem than we realise. That's just the numbers that we know about.
What's the opinions what people putting on the live feed on your YouTube?
I've not even been watching the comments, to be honest.
Right.
Yeah, I have. I don't think there's any questions. I'm just looking up now. I'll scroll through.
I asked if anyone wanted to speak. That's why Fred jumped on.
I just think it's crazy, police out there saying, we're here to build rapport with the public, but we don't get any justice, and the community goes into self-justice, i.e. beating up or stabbing, then we have a bigger problem. And if the police just did the job and just, do the basic evidence, you know, arrest, take a statement, in protect, then we would have a closer alignment with the police. But we just see it's just done wrongly. You know, we haven't even took the phone off of him. We haven't took a statement off of him. We haven't arrested him. You know, it's just crazy.
Right, now what it is, if you notice as well, the police spoke to the young girl at the time. Where was the social services or anyone there in front of that police officer? He's got no right to speak to that young girl on her own when she made that formal complaint. That young girl made a formal complaint to the police.
Yeah, I can't even
and he puts it in his
from that
notebook.
point onwards, they should have got involved, and they should have been interviewed properly, like down the station with a woman and everything. I presume that's how it works.
No, they didn't take the little girl, the 8-year-old girl. I won't mention her name. Everyone will know it anyway. But they wouldn't take the 8-year-old to the police station. The police officer done a notebook at the scene when she went over there and spoke to his wife and the 8-year-old girl. And that was enough. Done. One notebook.
What?
That little girl was not taken down to the police station to make a complaint. No one has spoke to that little girl since.
That doesn't sound right, does it? Not the way it's meant to happen.
Tommy spoke to her before what happened. Before what happened. That's on there as well, on the YouTube. How did the girl...
Yeah, but see, that was the wrong thing. That was the wrong thing with Tommy to do. I've seen that on the YouTube where Tommy did that sort of thing.
Yeah, but... Well,
should not really.
Yeah, but was Tommy putting words in her mouth? Where was he standing?
He just wasn't trained for that. He wasn't, and he's got a lot of emotion behind it, so it's like an unbiased thing, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's his daughter, isn't it? Yeah,
exactly. That's why it can never be used. That whatever he's got on video there can't ever be used because it's unbiased.
Oh, no. He's saying to the people, is she lying? There's a bump beside the wall. He's only using that for his own self.
Yeah, but the sad thing about that is what no one seems to realise, and the way the justice system works in this country, is what he's doing. He's jeopardising his own daughter's case. You don't realise that, but he is. He should realise it.
Yeah, but he's not going to use that in court, is he?
No, but he's putting it out in the public domain, so we're all judging this guy before we even fucking know what justice is. We're judging it because of these things that are coming out. This is why the media can't do these things, because the public ends up judging him before they've actually had a trial. And that's why it gets chucked out.
Yeah, but you look at the media the next day. Have you seen the media, what they've put the next day?
Yeah, because they'll quite happily want this fucking case chucked out, won't
they? They were saying Tommy gets caught fighting at Centre Parks. Yeah. Tommy gets fighting at Centre Parks. Yeah. Tommy got fighting at... Hold up. Tommy confrontation at Centre Park.
Yeah, but then when you read the article then, it's all allegedly and maybe, and it's like the way they word it, mate. It's
the media. You know, they always paint half a story.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But if Tommy's movement of, whatever he's got, I'm plucking through the numbers, say 50,000 people all go and watch his video. That's 50,000 people all going to judge this guy before they got the truth, according to the justice system.
But have you seen the other YouTube, the way they arrested him?
I've seen all. Yeah, I've seen all of it. I've seen how they did it. Yeah. I've still watched it. It's on your channel. I watch it on your channel.
Yeah.
I must admit, you're the one I'm keeping up with Tommy Robinson News now, because a lot of them that I used to keep up with have all turned against him. So it's like, well, I can't watch you anymore because you're not even showing what's going on.
Right.
But you are. Your channel's still showing what's going on.
Yeah, what it is. Yeah, what it is, Tommy's. What it is with Tommy, everything what comes out, it goes on my YouTube because Tommy ain't got a YouTube. But he has. And he hasn't, I should say. But it goes on mine straight away. Everything happens. Like tomorrow's one, when the police are going to ring him up tomorrow, like they said, or today, now, tomorrow afternoon, that will go out live on my YouTube.
Yeah.
Straight away. So we want to hear what the police have got to say tomorrow when they've said they will be ringing up tomorrow and asking him, will he be arrested? On touch wood, I'm hoping the man does get arrested. So when Tommy goes to court, we can go to court when he goes to court.
Yeah, but either way, right, what Tommy did to that man, either way, is against the law. End of. That's it. Yes, he was emotionally, what do you call it? We might better get away with being emotionally detached from society, sort of, him, because it was his own daughter. There's a word for that in the law. I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah.
But there's something you can use as a defence for that, which will probably get him off, maybe get him ASBO or whatever. But
I don't know.
You can't dispute the fact. what he did was wrong, right? That's what I think. That's my opinion.
No, but what's
I'd be
happened?
wrong as well because I'd do exactly the same thing, and I'd be wrong doing it and all. You know what I mean? But your emotional attachment from it.
They won't look at that. They won't look. The magistrate will send him to prison.
I don't know. He's not.
And
He's not on a suspended sentence, nothing, is he? He's not on. His license finished, isn't it?
No,
You can't get a
everything's
recall,
finished for him. No, he can't.
Right.
No, he can't. But they're going to say it's Tommy Robertson.
Yeah.
With the likes of me and you, we would walk with a little slap on the wrist.
Yeah. I mean, the media, right? The media are judging him to be a thug and beating this guy up, right? Which is what they're going to put. That's obvious. I could have said that the next day. But the media are going to rip the fucker apart. Of course they are, because he brings out the truth. He's fucked them over a few times. BBC, Sky News, a lot. He's pulled out their shit, so they're not his friends. Far from it. But we've also got what we can't do, in my eyes, as normal people, is fall into the trap that the media are doing and pushing something for one narrative. We can't now start pushing this guy to be a paedophile or anything like that because we don't actually fucking know. You know what I mean? We're just presuming, and allegations are getting chucked about. And we're like, we don't actually know what he might have mentally retarded.
Well, he's admitted it, hasn't he? If he's admitted, he's admitted it, hasn't he?
But you can ask a 10-year-old kid, have you just took that sweet? And they'll go, yeah, I have. He'll admit it.
No, but the guy's admitted it, hasn't he?
Yeah, but I don't know what the mentality state of the guy is. That's what I'm getting at.
It
could be a 30-year-old man with a 10, 15-year-old mentality or whatever.
Admission of guilt. Admission of guilt.
So why? My argument there would be, why wouldn't the lifeguards looking at this?
Yeah.
What is a man
there's a lot of failures
of that age? You've got to go into failures of the centre park.
You shouldn't be the pool at the same time, in my eyes. End of.
That's right.
I mean,
so that's why the centre parks are going to be thrown at this.
Yeah.
People are willing to do demonstrations outside the centre parks next week. And I'm advising them not to. I'm advising them not to.
That's a good idea.
The fact that why was that? If that is the situation, right? Which is my plausible, logical explanation for it, right? At the moment in time, is what's happened in my head. And if that is the situation, we have to then think, well, what the fuck why was he doing in that pool? What was his two carers doing? And where the fuck are the lifeguards? And what's going on? This is a massive big resort. This is, you know what I mean? This could close centre parks if they don't investigate it and sort it out. Because I'm not going to take my kids there if I fucking look after them. No, no way. And the media's not doing that. The media could have went that way with it any time they wanted to. They could have went, you know what? We'll close centre parks. We'll close this in a week. They could have done that if they wanted to.
I agree with that. You know, the lifeguards have got to look. You know, regardless of what Tommy is in what happened, they've got to look at this grown man in a kiddie's pool around children. Why isn't she in an adult's pool?
Yeah, and you've got to think the plausible explanation for that is he's got a children's mind. You've got
that's
the only plausible explanation I can think of. But even then, it doesn't make it right. I'm not saying it makes it right.
They must have a duty of care somewhere along the lines for them children.
Yeah.
They must have.
I think the two carers are mainly at fault, I think.
Yeah, the problem I've got at the moment, I've got a lot of people are going out there they want to go to centre parks for the demo. And I'm trying to explain to them is that if you do, you don't mention Tommy's name. You're going there for one child.
Yeah.
It's not about Tommy Robertson because this will go fall back on Tommy's name when he goes to court, as if Tommy's edged it. Tommy's not edged this. He's not involved in that demonstration outside centre parks. Yeah. But if I can't stop people doing what they want to do. But as long as they go there and mention it happened to a young child, get Tommy's name.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. That's how people should do it.
They won't. You'll have them screaming her name and all sorts of shit, mate.
Tough shit.
Well, I can guarantee
you know it.
This is nothing to do with Tommy if they call a demonstrator at Centre Park because Tommy has not.
Yeah, exactly, mate.
No, he'd have come out in the video. He'd have come out on his own channel and called it if he'd called it. He's not shy. You know what I mean?
That's right.
If that's the case.
That's right. You know, so
people may actually get the outrage back, which they should have had for all this time that's gone by. Too many things have gone on. It's one of them things. Something's got to be the straw that breaks the camel's back.
What you got to look at, right, is something stopped Tommy beating the shit out of that man. He hit him a couple of times, which he admits, right, and then realised, hang on, Now, is it the case that he realised, hang on, shit, this man ain't right in the edit, he's fucking out. He's crying for his mommy sort of thing. He's not right, hang on. Was that a scenario, you know what I mean? There's loads of things that can happen that we don't know about yet.
Yeah, it could be, because when a man says to you, I groped her bum,
yeah,
you know then there's something wrong with him.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Come out of it in front of you, two people next to you, two mates next to you, come out and say it. And then you hit him, and then the two carers go, hang on a minute, you know, he's not well, blah, blah, he's only 10, or whatever. That might stop someone go, hang on, fucking hell, shit. But I still want to arrest him, though. It ain't right, you know what I mean? It ain't right. And of course it ain't right, you know what I mean? No matter what age they are, it's irrelevant. But you've got to think of plausible. There's no way Centre Parks are that shit, right, that they can allow 3 paedophile men to walk into a 10-year-old, 15-year-old swimming pool type thing. There's not a fucking chance. So somehow, I'm the two carers, or the two men, should I say at the moment, because they didn't come out as the carers, it hasn't come out yet. But the two men that were with him weren't in the pool with him. They were sat round the corner on chairs. You know what I mean? They weren't actually with him. So it's like, well, it's weird. I don't know any paedophiles, but I just presume that's not how they work, is it? Fucking hell, are they that blatant? That don't make sense.
They're that blatant, Donna. They are that blatant. They've been doing it for years.
Fuck me, man. I'm blind as fuck.
I'll have to send you some links, Danny. I don't know what you've missed. There's quite a few things out there, mate. I'll send you some links tomorrow to check out. It's a plague. It's out of the country.
Well, do you realise? I put it on my YouTube on my one, where a person in 2016 groped a young girl's bum, a white person. He got 16 months.
Yeah.
A woman who groped a police officer's bum got prison.
And this one will walk. I guarantee it.
Yeah, it's fucking weird how it all works. I mean, don't get me wrong, I think Thomas did wrong, and he's going to get probably persecuted for doing wrong, probably a longer sentence than most people would have got for that, I guarantee. It's Tommy Robinson. Of course, they're going to nail him to the fucking cross. And to be honest with you, I feel sorry for him, because of all the people it happened to, it happened to him. You know what I mean? Of all the fucking people.
When you look at what's happening now, Tommy's going 1 step forward, 2 steps back.
Yeah.
You got to think, he's up for the football violence thing, you know what I mean, where someone would want to fight him in front of his wife and call him a slag and God knows what. Yeah. Right, he admitted that, right? He's up court for that. It's only a banning order anyway, but that's another one provoked him, yeah. Now he's up for the Syrian case, you know, of the waterboarding.
Yeah.
You know, the case, you know, in March, you know. But he's going forward, and all of a sudden this goes on him, and I'm thinking, wow, this is going to muck his head right up. He's only got 1 court case. He's got 3 going on now.
It just makes you think, you know, where do you take your kids that is going to be safe? You know, you can't. You know, where do you take your kids to a public place? And you know, if this can happen to Tommy, and we've heard of different cases in nudist swims everywhere. You know, where do you trust? I'm just shocked that Centre Parks haven't been brought to. I'm shocked that Centre Parks haven't been brought to sort of into question about how this has happened.
Yeah, but if you realise and look what Rick just said, he will show you a comment tomorrow. This ain't the first time this happened in Centre Parks. This has happened before.
Fucking hell, that's not. I'm not. I don't. I'll be honest. I don't watch a lot of news and papers anymore. I used to years and years ago, but not so much. Last 3 or 4 years, I ain't bothered. But I'm not. I don't recall ever reading anything. So they kept it out of the press and things like that. And they probably pay for injunctions. They can do that, can't they? Nowadays, you can pay money to keep it out of the press, can't you?
Mm.
I know a lot of footballers do that.
Yeah,
keep their affairs not out of the press by just paying the money up front. There is a name for it. I forgot the name. It's like an injunction. It's like a media block. You have to pay for it though.
It's a banning order. As a banning order, what they put on Tommy when he went to Leeds Grand Court. They put a banning order on it.
Right. You usually have to pay for it though. Footballers pay top whack for that. You usually pay like half.
Yeah, they can. Yeah, but this is down to the judge. Like the police have put a banning order on Tommy, saying his name.
Yeah.
You cannot use that person's name. It's got a block on it, a banning order on it.
Yeah. That's what we're bang on.
Fucking in it.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that I'm just surprised that the media are attacking Tommy at the moment and not centre parts. I'm like, what the fuck? Surely centre parts are at fault. Yes, whether it's Tommy Robinson, whether it's John Smith, whether it's fucking Jonathan,
It's not.
Robinson, it doesn't matter.
People got to come down to facts. People got to come to facts. It's not Tommy Robertson, is it? He didn't get sexually assaulted. That's an 8-year-old child who got sexually assaulted.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and that's not even getting brought up, really. He's only getting brought up in the small print.
That's right.
Why he did it. I mean, it's like, well, forget what he did. Like, okay, we know that's wrong. He'll take his punishment for that. But let's look at the facts here. What's happened to that man and what's happened to the victim here? Nothing.
Did Tommy's daughter ever got offered counselling? Just in case, there is any trauma there.
No one. No, the police have not been round the house and spoke to her. All she done, she give a 6-minute statement to a PO, not even a police officer. I'll call her police officers. They're POs. There's little ones at the end. 6 minutes, and that was enough.
SPO, yeah.
That was enough. She's had nothing. No one's gone round her house and spoke to her.
No,
exactly what happened.
Yeah, that's what I find shocking. That bit there, where they're so serious of knocking on the door and said, "You can't see me. Just don't want to speak out. Just want to make a report, make a complaint. Let's do it all official. Here's the forms. Let's go through it." I'm a bit shocked that hasn't happened, Mark. And that you got to think then. Well, why hasn't that happened? Why hasn't that happened?
Because the police want to cover it up, mate. It's a cover up. It's a cover up again. Now you might as well say the same thing that happened in Birmingham and Rotherham and Manchester and Oxford. Is that the same thing? Cover ups.
Yeah, 10 years ago, I'd have took that, Glen, but in Telford now, I don't know what it's like around the country. I can't judge for that, but I can only say in Telford, the police now and the social services now, to be honest with you, they've got no fear now to come out and be, as what we used to call politically incorrect or being racist and losing their jobs. They know now they can come out and say, yep, another Paki, or yep, another Muslim, yep, another this, another. They can say that now and know they're not going to get called racist in Telford. That's what happens in Telford anyway.
You know why? Because Naga's behind it.
Well, because Tommy Robinson's come out of it and he's come out, exposed it all. So now the police and the social services who watch Tommy Robinson on YouTube, same as everyone else does, and see it on the news, and think behind him and think, well, I'd like to support him, but I'd lose my job. They start realising that they don't. They start realising, you know what? No, I can't actually support him. I can confidently say to my boss, yeah, I do actually support Tommy Robinson. I know you can't fucking sack me for it anymore either. You know what I mean? You used to be able to, but now you can't.
Right now, there's cover-ups. I went to Bognor Regis, and I done a stunt on that kebab shop. The young girl come out and told and spoke out to us. Said she got rape peeled in her kebab. I went down there, and the police tried to cover it up, mate. So I went down there. I want that shop.
Yeah,
I done another YouTube on it.
When you was doing the live outside that kebab shop,
that's right.
They was allowed to actually go in, if I recall, even though it was closed. And you seen a guy go in with a bag.
Yes.
Then come out with a bag.
Yes.
Then walk down the street.
Yes.
I think,
yes.
Well, if it's closed.
That was a cover-up. Until I exploited it, or we exploited it, like TR News, until TR said, like, this has got to be sorted, yeah? Right? Now, what was if that kebab shop was under investigation? Kebab, we don't know what drug it is yet. It's been going on since just before Christmas. They've got bail in January. Now, they've got bail now till March the 27th. They're going to be charged. But till we went down there was no corners off on that kebab shop. I could have walked freely where I wanted to free. There were 7 police officers outside that kebab shop because they knew we were turning up. Now, I said to that police officer, why is that people walking into that kebab shop, coming out with bags and not being looked at? And he just shrugged his shoulders. I took it further and further, and I wouldn't let it drop. Do you know what the outcome of that shop is now?
Justice.
It's closed. It's closed for life.
Good. I'm surprised.
Now,
that's a suspicious activity. That is. You know what I mean? You ain't got to be a cop to look at that. And I'm surprised they didn't even say, stop and search. Like,
That's a cover-up, and it's been covering up. You know, we know about the Telford case, and you're saying you're sticking by him, but I know the social services down Telford are still at it.
Well, social services are fucking rotten anyway. You know, no matter which county you go to, they're fucking rotten. Going into girls' home, well, parents' homes, and ripping kids away from families for petty stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, the Telford case, how many girls have been taken away and put into social care from Telford? That it's still happening today?
Thousands.
Oh yeah, it's about I say 1,000 a year at least, maybe more. More than 1,000 a year.
So
It's 35.
you just said though, didn't you? But I heard a statement in here turn around and say, well, they're doing what they can. No, they're not doing what they can. They're still coming up. When people are asking questions, not coming out with nothing. And that's why I think the next demonstration should be outside Telford Social Services.
Yeah.
Let's highlight this. Let's get this up and running.
Yeah, I do know a lot of good cases, if that makes any sense. I do know a lot of good cases where social services actually do remove the children from the home, and it's because, I mean, I know the parents themselves. I'm like, yeah, well, they're not fit to fucking, they don't even look after themselves very well. They shouldn't have kids, you know what I mean? It's a joke. And that I'm thinking, they deserve that. And I'm glad the kids are out of that situation now with fucking heroin addicts, fucking needles hanging around and all that shit.
Yes, now, hold a minute. One child out of 60 goes into care. That's still wrong. Let's forget about how many majority is. That one person who's gone into care, who has been, I won't say her name at the moment because Dan Tomo's been done for it.
Yeah,
been raped in a care home. And they won't send her back to her mum and dad because she got raped in a care home. Whose fault is it why she can't go back to see their parents? Because she got raped and her mind is not right.
But why shouldn't they care in the first place?
I can't use that at the moment. It's still going on.
I'm saying there's a reason. So obviously the parents weren't exactly the best parents, why she wouldn't be in that care in the first place.
Well,
that's what I'm saying there. That's only logical presumption, that is. That's nothing. I've got no evidence of any of that, what I just said. Just logical presumption. People in the care home.
Yeah, but I've got evidence at the moment that I can't bring up because it's still going on to the court case. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
this is coming. You know what I mean? Naga's behind this. You know, Naga are brilliant.
Yeah, you can see my logical. You can see my thinking behind that, though. You said that she come out of the care home and are not allowed to go back to mum and dad. So you got to think of why was she in the care in the first place? You know what I mean?
No, but their statement is they would want to go back to the parents, but she's not in a fit enough state to go back to the parents because she's been raped.
And you know what they use under that, which they take most children for, is a future risk of harm or a future risk of emotional harm. And if you chat to any case up and down the country involving social services, double method quite on a number of occasions. And with that girl that Tomo can't report on anymore because of social services and child protection and all that crap, they'll use and say, well, she's not emotionally stable to go back. And still being careful until she's, I know some cases, especially my daughter, they're keeping her on from 16 to 21 when she reaches 16. So I know they can keep her institutionalized in the care system.
There is reasons behind all this, though. I know you think that it's like, they just want to, I don't know, keep the kids or cover it all up and that, but there is reasons they do these things. And that one example is what you just said then is not going back to the kids, go back to the parents so quick, as in, everything's come out, the court case is done and it's all been done and it's found out this is this, so they can go back to the parents. It's because they've got to be deprogrammed, if you like. It's probably like a recounselling back into society. You can't, because if you just chuck them back into society, right, and just ask them to turn up at counselling every Tuesday, right, it don't going to happen. The other society, we've realised that don't work. They just end up going back on the drugs. They go back and being prostitutes. They end up doing this. They commit suicide, whatever. So it's a case of we need to look after them over a period of maybe 6 months. We have to gradually wean them back into proper lifestyle, the way life should be, and not just fucking drop them onto the parents. There you go, they're nice ones. That's it. But so there is reasons why we can't just do that. That's what I'm getting at.
But this particular person, it's not been 6 months. It's been 3 years.
Yeah, well, I can't judge on that case enough. I'm just giving you like an
Right,
overall
right.
reason
And there's
why
another
we do
one.
it.
There's, you know, what I mean, there is another case we're looking at. The mother was in care herself, took the daughter away. So it's spreading. They think it spreads because the daughter was in care. They're going to take their kids off and put them in care. We're on this case now. There's another case what's going on. So whatever happened to her, they're thinking is going to happen to her daughter. And the social services took that child away. This is what is happening.
Yeah, it's happened to me. Basically, they used a historic case against me. Then basically told me I've got to move out. Then told me I can't emotionally look after my daughter. Even though,
Yeah, see, to me that's fucking out of order.
and I've got every evidence to prove it, and you just don't want to know. We just shut the door, and I've had police after come with mental health team at my door. We've got the sheet of paper. I think it was only last week when they came to my door with a police officer and someone from the mental health team. Because I even turned around and says, well, how can you help my mental health? He's like, I've been to CBT. I'm already popping pills. Doesn't help. Because you've took something away from me that you should have helped me with.
Yes.
But you've gave me no situation to resolve the issue. But we just came up with...
there's no appeal situation. So, I mean, have you appealed on that? I presume you've gone through that whole process.
Yeah.
Or is there no appeal or what? I don't know how it works.
Yeah, you can have appeal, but it's useless.
Have you spoke to anyone about this? Because, you know, I mean, you know, the one who's talking now. What's your name? Sorry, what's your nickname? I don't want to use the name of it.
Fred, I've spoke saying.
Right. I mean, have you spoke to? I won't say this on here, but I've got people who could help you, mate, who are in this, mate.
Well,
honestly,
I've spoke to solicitors.
No. Wait, forget about solicitors.
Well,
let's stop there a minute. Forget about solicitors. They don't help out, mate. Don't give a damn about them. All they want is your money. I'm talking about I've got top people who you could speak to, right? And they will back your case. And I won't say their names over here, but I'd like you to speak to me offline, who could sit down with you. They will ring you up.
I'll pass you his number if you want, mate.
Yeah, what it is
after the show.
But
they're involved with they're a false adoption team. They're the false adoption team who I work with TR. They work with us. Work with us throughout, and we've won cases.
I guarantee, and I know I'm right on this. I can guarantee there is a load of people like me that's going to get targeted, but won't come out because of the stigma behind it.
Mm.
Yeah.
There is loads of people suffering in silence.
Mm.
Because of your own embarrassment and guilt sort of thing you carry, that it won't come out there, will it?
In these children haven't got a choice. But because of stigma that attached to what's gone off, they can't come out. They can't have a family.
But these people who you'll be working with, they fight the social services, mate. They have helped out. They've gone into social services and gone into them and found out about the case. It just means like you need to speak to these particular people, you know, who I'll give you a name to and I'll give you a phone number to. They're on 24-hour days all the time who work with us on this, right? And help you out, whatever you need, whatever you want to do.
That's good of you, Glenn. Nice one.
I've been to everyone and everybody says, well, you need to move out. I was like, well, I know. And I have spoken to many people and we're just using this against you as a tool to steal your daughter away from you. And I went, I know. Well, because the laws are there, my arse is pinned against the wall. literally against the wall. And there's fuck all that I can do about it. They sat me down in a room and they got one of my family's history, criminal history, and told me to understand it. I said, how do you want me to understand it? How? I can't do anything. It's nothing to do with me. But yet you're trying to tell me to understand it. How? It's impossible. And because of that...
it sounds like you need to get together with Glenn on that thread, to be honest.
Because of that...
here I've got any clue how to help you on that.
See, we have got a forced adoption team professionally done, and it's all a voluntary. They are not just monkeys off the street. These are top people who are doing this voluntary, mate, for us. You know, like, you got to think, you ask the bloke who lives in Telford. I'll go, Alex Wood. Brilliant.
Hey,
you know,
it is huge.
Yeah. We've got huge cases. We've got massive cases going on now around the area. We've got a couple in Newcastle, in Middlesbrough. It's happened up the northeast more than anything else. And these people are winning their cases, mate. Honestly, it might take 7 months. It might take. You've got nothing to lose, have you? What have you got to lose?
Well,
you've got a lot to gain.
Well,
you've got a lot to gain and more to lose.
Yeah, but I've done this for 3 years, and I just said, well, there is no one. I did it for 3 years, and I even went to the police. I did police files. I got a number of the police. I've got police reports. I've done assessments. I've got medical letters. I did everything, and it just came to nothing. And now in permanent order, which is long-term foster care with add-on.
Yeah.
Basically, they're keeping my daughter in foster care until she's 16.
Yeah.
Then they are looking to keep her on from 16 to 21.
Yeah.
So I've got no chance of seeing my daughter. None.
We've only got 2 minutes left. It's nearly 3 o'clock. We'll run out tonight.
Right. But if you would like to, you know what I mean, if you give me on your WhatsApp or you can give me his number, Rick.
Yeah.
I will give you some numbers. I'm not asking you to do it, my friend. Sit back, right? And I will give you a couple of numbers, phone numbers, and I will contact them first. And I don't know about your case. I'll just say to them, can you help this person out? Blah, blah, blah. Is it worth that try?
Sure.
Is it worth
it? If they want to open up Pandora's box, then let's go for it.
Right, brilliant. That's all I want to hear.
Good.
That's all I want to hear from you.
Nice one, Glenn. That's brilliant. Thank you for helping out, mate.
Nice one, Glenn, for coming.
Thanks for your time tonight. It's been great. It's a pity Pirate Girl didn't show, but we knew she wouldn't anyway. I wouldn't even bother entertaining them now. I'd tell everybody to just switch off to it now.
That's right.
But brilliant. Nice one for giving us your time tonight, Glenn. And we'll support what's going on, obviously.
Yeah, and what I do, Rick, I'll pass you all over the information, what I've got.
Yeah.
What I've told you about.
Yeah, brilliant. Nice one, mate. Stay in contact. And remember, if you need any legal help and whatever, Gary and Nathan are only a phone call away.
Yeah, nice one.
Nice one, mate. Take care.
Well, thanks, guys. Night all, man.
Thanks for having me on. We'll speak to you later.
Cheers.
Take care, mate.
All right.
See you. I'll see you later, Fred. Take care, mate.